Aloha everyone, and welcome to the Hawaii Hurricane Watch Report for July 25th, 5 p.m. advisory. Yes, it was just a little while ago we were doing the 2 p.m. advisory, which was an hour-long stream, and that went excellent. I really thank you for everyone that was joining there. Sorry, I just received an error here. It says YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, users will experience buffering. I don't understand why. Everything was working earlier today with no problem. So, anyways, let's get to it. First, we're going to take a look at the latest advisory. The National Hurricane Center issued their July 25th, 5 p.m. advisory on Hurricane Douglas. And it states that the hurricane continues to move west-northwest towards Hawaii. Current location is now 19.9 degrees north and 151.4 degrees west, and is located about 240 miles or 385 kilometers east of Hilo, Hawaii. Which is also about 430 miles or 695 kilometers southeast of Honolulu, Hawaii. And maximum sustained winds are still around 90 miles per hour or 150 kilometers per hour, while the present movement is still west-northwest or 290 degrees at 16 miles per hour or 26 kilometers per hour, and the minimum central pressure, of course, is 982 millibars or 29 inches. So not a lot has changed in that respect, other than the location of the storm. There has been some changes with this advisory though, and that is a tropical storm warning has been issued for Kauai County, including the islands of Kauai and Niihau. Yeah, I still haven't figured all these words out yet, but in time we will. A tropical storm watch has been issued for portions of the... Yes, I should have read through this before I streamed, huh? I'm not even going to attempt this word right there. Just not going to. But anyways, it's the Marine National Monument. And summary of watches and warning effect. Hurricane warnings effect for Oahu. Tropical storm is for Hawaii County, Maui County, including the islands of Maui, Lanai, Molokai. Kauai County, including the islands of Kauai and Niihau. A hurricane watch is in effect for Hawaii County, Maui County, including the islands of Maui, Lanai, Molokai, etc. So we won't go over that because we just went over that at 2 o'clock. If you have any questions as to what a hurricane warning versus watch and tropical storm warning versus watch means, pause the stream later here and you can read the descriptions right through here. So let's go ahead and go through the discussion and outlook, because I want to get to the radar and satellite images because I see something very interesting there. So stay tuned for that coming up here real soon. Now at 5 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time, the center of Hurricane Douglas was of course located near 19.9 north and longitude 151.4 west, and is moving towards the west-northwest near 16 miles an hour. This motion is expected to continue through the next couple of days, and on the forecast track, Douglas will be near the main Hawaiian Islands late tonight and is expected to move near or over parts of the state Sunday and Sunday night. And here in Pahoa on the east coast of the Big Island of Hawaii, we have noticed since the 2 p.m. stream, the winds and wind gusts have gotten stronger. So far, no rain. But that's not unheard of with incoming storms of this nature. Usually you will see the outer bands carrying mostly just winds and gusty winds, and then the inner bands are carrying most of the rain, but not always. So anyways, where were we? Sunday and Sunday night. Maximum sustained winds are near 90 miles an hour with higher gust, of course, and gradually weakening is expected to continue to occur over the next couple days. However, Douglas is still forecast to be near hurricane strength when it passes near the islands. And of course, the hurricane winds do extend outward of up to 35 miles or 55 kilometers from the center of tropical storm force, or from the center of circulation, while tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 115 miles or 185 kilometers. And of course, the estimated central pressure is 982 millibars. Now, So as we can see by the 2 p.m. advisory compared to the 5 p.m. advisory, there has been really no significant changes in the hurricane. Its speed, its central pressure, its sustained winds, and all that are relatively the same. However, based on a personal observation, we're going to come and look at this image here. Now I'm going to pause this, and I was playing around with this browser earlier so that I could zoom in. There we go. So y'all can see this. Now what I want you to look at is, of course, the storm here. Now I'm going to back it up just a little bit, and I'm going to go a little bit more. Okay. If you remember from the 2 p.m. advisory, I showed you the surface temperature maps, and I said that the hurricane was going to start moving over a band of warmer water that is surrounding the islands, while to the east of the storm was the cooler water from which it was passing. Now, as we learned, this thing reset itself. As we learned in the 5 p.m. advisory from last night and the 2 p.m. advisory from today, it is ocean surface temperatures that tend to control the strength and organization of the storm. So what I wanted to point out here, I'm almost there. Doing this live is a lot different than pre-recording. Okay, look at the center of the storm here. We can't really see a well-defined eye of any sorts, but what I want you to look at is the texture of the top of the clouds, because as we move into the last image, notice how that texture changed. They've got a lot more billowy around that center, and we're starting to see the central depression of the eye again. What this is increased convection activity. This billowy top that come up around the center, that is higher cloud tops from more convection currents and upswelling of air currents pushing clouds higher into the sky. This is a actual sign, and again, this is all my personal, based on my personal opinion through observational, study and etc. But when I see this happen in a storm, this tells me that the strength of the storm is actually increasing. It's gotten over a little bit warmer water. I'm still not seeing any upper level wind shear to cut the tops off. So we're seeing organization occurring, or should I say reorganization occurring. And we're going to have to watch this very, very closely now. This is what I was hoping not to see as the storm approached. I wanted to see that eye wall collapse and basically not be able to tell where the eye was. That's always a good thing. When you can tell where the eye is, it is not a good thing. So I would say, based on my visual observation, this is definitely still a Category 2 hurricane, maybe a high-end Category 1, but it's definitely there on the edge, if not a 2. I don't know what the official report is, they didn't say, but they didn't downgrade it to a Category 1 in the 5 p.m. advisory specifically, so I would say that it's still considered officially a Category 2. But yes, that convection current there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start this loop. It's 36 frames. And I want you to watch, okay, when the loop restarts. Okay, see how smooth it is? And then poof, all that upswelling right there in the cloud tops. That is convection. And convection is the lifeblood of a hurricane system. Oh, wow, Maria. Thank you so much for that $10 super chat. I just happened to look over at the screen and there it was. Mahalo for that. I do appreciate it. I'm trying to move my mouse over to a different window, and it was still over there. Okay. So, with that in mind, let's go take a look at some of the other Oh, and there it is on the screen. Boy, that was a big delay. Yes, again, mahalo, Maria. I do appreciate that. Your support is absolutely necessary to keep this channel going. So if anyone wants to help support the channel, I've provided a multitude of ways for that to occur. You can do a simple donation, one time or recurring. You can purchase some amazing merchandise, which, speaking of, here's one of the masks that I love the most. I'll pin it to the top of the chat feed. This is the lava face mask. I have the other designs coming to Teespring soon. There's just some delay issues we're dealing with right there. So anyway, so yeah, so the masks are there, and so merch is one way. Of course, you know, sharing, liking, subscribing, that's all another way as well. And I've got another method, well, actually there's a change, but I won't get into that. There'll be a whole video about that probably in the next couple weeks. So anyways, back to the report. Let's go to the sector images. I want to look at the RGB multispectral sandwich radar. And we are going to zoom in a little on that one as well, so we can get a nice good look. And I'm going to take it up to 240 images. So this will take us back to July 24th, the night of, or actually the early morning of July 24th. And as you can see, this is where it started to move over the cooler water. And you see that eye, how it's starting to break down, and even the red colors are going more orange. But now it's moving over the warmer water, and you can start to see that eye reforming right there. So yeah, this is what I'm concerned about the most, is it moving over that band of warmer water, because I know that means intensification. So, oops. Well, that zooming in didn't help very much, did it? But yeah, you can see right there, just as night's coming along, that eye's starting to reform, and that's where the gradient between the warmer and the cooler water is about right here. So let me take us out of the zoom mode. I wish the browser had a better way of doing that, but it doesn't. So that's the RGB sandwich. Let's take a look. Let me refresh just in case they've updated. I want to take a look at the surface charts again. Okay, this is the high pressure stuff. Still no update there. So yeah, so like I said, the storm's gotten pretty much over here now. It's moved into the cooler water. We still have the high pressure there. So I'm actually beginning to anticipate a more westerly turn as the night comes along. And let's go down to the sea surface temperatures. These, of course, were for 24th yesterday. So yeah, see, this is that banding line right there that I was talking about, and that's where the storm is right now, is crossing that threshold. So again, we're going to keep an eye on that. Okay. Now, where's my, there it is. Let's see, I want to go into the water vapor. I actually take a good look. I watch the water vapor loops. We have three. We have the upper water, the mid water, and the lower. The mid is the one that I usually find that helps me out a lot, and gives us a really good view of the moisture circulation in the storm. And there it is. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Okay, I'm going to pause this. We're going to bring it to the last image, and we're going to zoom in again. Okay, now right here, see this green? Okay, the white area right here, that's the central circulation. That's the eye area, which is not a very well formed eye right now. But you see how we got this light green, and then there's poof, this really dark green right here. It's gotten very thick. This is that convection upswell that I was showing you in the visual cloud top image. That means that, of course, the storm is taking in more energy, and as this new cloud band wraps around, and if it maintains, you know, its upward gain in intensity, that band will wrap around and ultimately form the newer, more distinct eye wall. But ooh, I am seeing something back here in the back side of the storm. See how this is all kind of jumbled up? It's not in that nice spiral type, you know, pattern. this could be an indication of some upper level disturbance. It could be a little bit of wind shear happening there, so maybe there is some wind shear going across the north here. I don't see anything in the satellite images or the maps indicating there is yet, but I know they've mentioned that a few times as this storm approaches the island. So we're just going to keep an eye on this one. And it's moving in that west-northwest direction, so that brings it this way. So yeah, Oahu and Kauai, they're I think the ones that really need to watch closer and be more concerned about it at this point. Again, that of course can change it at any time. I mean, literally any time. Oh, and also, instead of a mask, if you wanted to get something a little bit different, we also have Doing Hawaii t-shirts that have the Doing Hawaii Shield Man avatar logo in the left chest position. I'm actually going to pin one of those to the top of the chat so you can see it. It's right there. That's available on Teespring as well, though my main merch site is, of course, Redbubble. And you can find my Redbubble store at doinghawaii.redbubble.com. So, with that in mind, we're going to just let this one play out while I go over to the chat window, because I have not said a proper aloha to all of y'all yet. So let's go through the chat. If you have any questions, like I said in the 2 p.m. advisory, if you had any questions, think about them, write them down so you could post them here. So let's go through the chat and take a look and see if we have any questions. If not, and I lost my train of thought there for a second. Yes, the mama, Scott has more energy than the Energizer Bunny. I get tired just watching him run around. More than enough exercise for me. All right, no specific questions seem to be popping out in the chat. Aloha Bruce. Oh, good question. How much rain do you think we're going to get at HPP? Well, since you're a little further north than I am here in Leilani Estates, you're probably going to see a little bit more rain than we are, but not much. At this point, looking at the size of the storm, and let me actually go to a different map, and let's take a look at potential rainfalls. Let me think. Where am I going to find what I'm looking for? Actually, I want to stay here on Douglas. The floater. Is it going to be that one I want? Oh yeah, this one shows exactly what I was talking about. Okay, I'm looking at the infrared shortwave. This can be an indication of, if I'm correct, I may have this one wrong though. It could be an indication of rainfall, the amount of rain in a system. So let's go ahead and look at it here. As you can see, the darker colors are pretty much your really saturated areas. And we can see them, the blues, having that spiral banding, and we see little bands that will basically peel off of the central storm, carrying some rain with it. Since we're going to be on the south side, Bruce, I don't think we're going to see that much rain. I think this is mostly going to be a wind event for us at this point. We might get an inch or two out of it, maybe. But I forgot to mention this in the 2 p.m. and the 5 p.m. advisory, previous advisories. But some of you may not know, when it comes to a hurricane, and it's very interesting that they haven't mentioned this. Actually, I don't think I hear them mention this here in Hawaii with Pacific storms, hardly at all. But one thing we know from Atlantic storms, if you take the storm and go to the eye and you draw a line north to south, and then you through the eye, and then another line east or west to east through the eye of the storm. Any part of the storm that's in the top right quadrant, or the northeast corner of the storm. So this section of the storm here is usually where the worst winds and rain and power of the storm is. So one thing I knew about living in Florida is we did not want to be on this part of the storm when it was incoming. So when these storms would come up the west coast of Florida, that put this part of the storm going down the coastline. So it was always pretty bad for us. Plus, the winds whip around in a counterclockwise direction, and as the winds whip around, they're pushing seawater ahead of them. That's what causes the storm surges. So anything in this area of the storm, where it's over land, is getting the water pushed up on them. So yeah, so when these storms would come up the west coast of Florida, the west coast of Florida would see storm surges like crazy. So we never really wanted them to come that way. If they came across us, or they circled around and hit us, north of us or whatever from where I was, it wasn't that bad. Same concept here is I would rather be on this south side of the storm as it passes over than the northern side. So any of the areas that are on the north side of the hurricane as it goes through, or the north side of the eye, they're the ones that's going to see most of the bad weather. And the high winds and potentially damaging winds, etc. So there we go. Back to the comment section. What's for dinner, Dana? I don't know, actually. These updates come right at dinner time, so I've been eating late, and I'm not happy about that. But that's okay. For y'all, anything. Robin, your daughter's in Hilo. I don't think there's much to worry about. I think our biggest thing here is going to be some wind gust, and depending on the rain that we encounter from it, some flash flooding. But I don't think we're going to see any severe damaging winds or anything like that. Donald, am I planning on riding the storm out at home? Absolutely, yes. At this point, unless this storm takes a southerly nosedive, the eastern section of the Big Island should be relatively unaffected, other than some strong, breezy, gusty winds, a little bit of rain. And no, I am not prone to flooding, so I don't even have to worry about storm surge. My homestead is located at somewhere around 970 feet above sea level, something like that. So no worry about storm surges or tsunamis or anything like that. KDS, yeah, I love the satellite motion maps too. There's a lot of information that can be obtained from them relatively easily just by watching the loop. It will definitely show you the personality of one of these storms. So let's go ahead and change to, let's look at the cloud top phase. Oh yeah, there's a pretty colorful picture. What we're looking at this one, this is the cloud top infrared. This is basically showing us the tops of the clouds. And I want to point this one out real quick, because if you look here at that big red swirl, that's that convection top that I was showing y'all earlier. Galaxy Ranger, well, that's a heck of a change from a forecaster for National Weather Service to a forecasting rivers. And when you say river forecast, what exactly do you mean by a river forecast? I guess that would be the level of the river, quality of the water. I don't know. Suzanne, just because of the mountain, that doesn't necessarily mean no hurricane. Hurricane Azelle slammed right into the tip, pretty much right here. And when it did, it split and it went around the island. So Kona was fine, but everything on the East Coast got tore up. I got video footage from when I was living in beaches at the time that Azelle came through. That one was a little scary. Susan, 14,000 feet. Yeah, exactly. And that's what can actually make these storms just a little bit more dangerous, because that wind can get funneled in. So, but yeah, the Big Island is relatively safe from hurricanes. It does have a way of deflecting them, but it ain't no guarantee. How close is Douglas now? According to the 5 p.m. advisory, it was about 240 miles east of Hilo, Hawaii, or 430 miles east-southeast of Honolulu, Hawaii, which is on the Oahu Island. Isby, how do I know so much about weather stuff? Well, you obviously must be a little bit new to the channel, and if so, welcome to the Ohana. Actually, all new subscribers, welcome. How do I know about the weather stuff? Basically, I grew up in Florida. Florida, we deal with hurricanes. I was always fascinated with thunderstorms. I love lightning storms. I'm a big lightning storm fan. Y'all learned that in the 2 p.m. advisory. So, of course, I had a natural interest, and thanks to the internet and access to satellite imagery and stuff, it really, just encouraged me to seek more and more information. So, so I learned. I'm self-taught, and of course through personal observational experience, living with them, I became very good in understanding how they formed and what controlled where they were going and how they got there and things like that. So basically life experience is how I learned. I have what I consider to be a wonderful ability, and that is the skill to teach myself what I want to know. And it's something that I'm an advocate for. There is no reason why there is no reason for someone to say, I don't know how to do that, because you can learn. Everyone can learn. Aloha Koa B just subscribed. So yeah, so I hope that answers your question. Okay. River flooding. Got it, Galaxy Ranger. Thank you. Actually, Dana, anything that has technology touched with it, I guess I'm a geek over, because I am definitely a tech junkie. I love computers and technology and all that good stuff. Honoka'a. Actually, Susan, friend, says she's in Honoka'a, not Pahoa, so it can't hit her. Well, actually, Susan, it's interesting that you point that out, because this right here is the Honoka'a coast, Hamakua coast. Honoka'a is up there, and that puts you with the storm skirting you. So, technically, Susan, you are in more danger of getting higher wind and wind gust and more rain than I am, being southeast of you in Pahoa. So please be careful. Please prepare a little bit. I don't think it's a super thing to worry about for you, but I would definitely take precautions on picking up any loose items that may be in the yard or outside that could blow around, because you're going to see some wind. There's no doubt about that. The mountain can't save you from the wind. No, Dana, there's not enough lightning for Scott. Isby, you're more than welcome. I really enjoy sharing what I know with other people, especially those that are interested in learning something new. It goes back to that old proverb. If you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. But if you teach a man to fish, he'll eat for the rest of his life. And that's just the way I live my life. If I don't know how to do something, I'll teach myself. If I don't want to teach myself, I'll go find someone else that knows how to do it. Justin is asking, do I think the eye will hit Maui? No. Not based on the current information. However, if the storm starts making a more westerly turn, anytime within the next couple hours, then the probability of that goes up. Speaking of, actually, that's something I did not look at. Let's look at the new the new probability cone. And we'll zoom in here just a little. Okay, so Maui is right here in this big blue blob. It's to the farthest to the right. So according to the probability cone, the eye is going to go north. It should just skirt the north shore. Actually, not even Maui. It's going to be the island just north of that one. Forgive me, I don't know the name. So no, I don't think the eye is going to hit Maui. However, you're going to be just on the southern side of the eye. So your wind is going to be potentially hurricane force, definitely tropical storm force. So you at this point, you definitely want to prepare. You don't have much time left before it gets there. So again, the same advice. Pick up all your loose stuff in the yard, garbage cans, lawn chairs, anything that could easily be blown away. And don't think that, oh, it's not going to blow away, because wind has a way of picking up even the most oddly shaped objects and flinging them up into the air, and they can end up in your neighbor's yard. So make sure you take those precautions. Aloha, Sophia. Singing bird. No, I don't think Vermont has anything to worry about. You're good to go. Yeah, cone of uncertainty. This cone is a very useful tool, I mean, for visualization of potential tracks. But one thing I do know from experience with these storms and this particular data point is this is constantly changing. This is just, right now, if the storm was here, this is where it would be. As a predictive model, not so good. This is more just, eye candy. You got to look at the pressure gradients, the upper level wind currents, ocean temperatures, and things of that nature to really know where this storm's going to go and where it's going to be in the future. But again, it's just a predictive science. There's no guarantees or 100%, just like it is with volcanic eruptions. You really don't know what you got until it gets there. So, okay. I just realized I'm missing some screens on my streaming software. I wonder where they went. Oh, that's okay. We don't really need them. Okay, so last chance for any questions. If you have any other questions, go ahead and post them in the chat now, because I am going to be wrapping this up. I have not had dinner yet. I am hungry. And if you want to learn more about what makes a hurricane tick, check out the last 2/3 of the July 24th 5 p.m. advisory, and check out the July 25th 2 p.m. advisory, a live advisory that I did earlier today. I talk a lot about what makes hurricanes go in those two videos, so some good learning there can be done. And one more thing is, I do have some great merch available. If you want to help support the channel, you can do so by picking up a great mask, or a print, or a poster, or a sign, or a sticker, or a greeting card, or whatever else your heart may desire to decorate your world. But masks right now are the most popular items. The hibiscus with a black background, the petroglyph with the black background, and the lava face are the most popular right now. But I did just add this new one, which is super hot lava face. This is the one I'm actually sporting myself. I love it. The graphic is amazing. So you can go over to doinghawaii.redbubble.com to check all that out. If you prefer a different outlet, we have it on Teespring as well. They're actually a different style mask, as you can see by the one pinned to the top of the chat. I currently have 3 of them there. We have which one is up there now? Let me look. Oh, come on. We have the petroglyph with the black background, and I am now pinning the lava face, the original lava face, not super hot. Super hot lava is currently only available on the Redbubble site. Links for all that will be down in the description. So pinned to the top now is the lava face, which is a really great one too. This one actually is not so hot that you can actually see the textures of the lava rocks, which is pretty cool. And then of course the third one available on the Teespring site is the Hawaiian hibiscus. This one's actually been very popular. I'm very pleased with the way this one turned out myself. So it's pinning, there it is. It should be up now. Okay, so that's it. We've talked about the 5 p.m. advisory. We've taken a look at my concerns about the storm potentially re-intensifying a little bit as it approaches. We've looked at the radar and satellite maps. We've talked about some great merch that's available at doinghawaii.redbubble.com and over at my Teespring store. Links to all that stuff, donations and everything else, are down in the description. And before we go, I want to go back to this one. I want to look at my geocolor, and I want to get the freshest. Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that. Okay. This is actually concerns me just a little bit. Let's watch this loop. As you can see, it starts off nice and smooth, and then we get all this storm convection around the central location of the eye, which means that that is some organization, potential organization intensification occurring. And looking there at that last image, let me pause it. Hold on. Okay, looking at the last image right here, we can see that it has almost completely wrapped around now. Let's go back to where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? Oh yeah, I want my cloud top. Okay, and I just want to look at the last image on that one. Yeah, see how that red's wrapping around? So, but you know, I'm seeing a little bit more evidence of wind shear occurring right here. So that is where it is bumping up against the high pressure ridge. So we'll watch it. So it looks like I will most likely be doing a 11 p.m. advisory, live advisory again. So if you want to check that one out, be sure to tune in for that one. I will try to put up an event schedule about 30 minutes or so in advance to that live broadcast. And that will wrap it up. I do believe we've covered everything, unless someone pops in a really good question in the next few minutes. We are going to call this stream, or this update, complete. Know all things, it's almost here. It'll be arriving tonight, and we will be going through the experience pretty much all day tomorrow. David Zenz is asking, can I make that picture into a shirt? Which picture? I've shown a lot of them. Okay, everybody. I think that will do it for this stream. Again, if you have any questions that you think of after the stream has ended, you can leave them in the comments of the video below, or you can hold the questions until the 11 p.m. live stream, and I will be more than happy to answer it there. And David, tell me which picture it is you want in the comments. You know, the actual comments, not the chat comments here. And I will be sure to take a look at that and see. Yeah, there's pretty much, if it's a picture, we can make a t-shirt. So, mahalo for watching, and don't forget to check out the links in the description. And you have a absolutely amazing morning, afternoon, or evening.